हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू मॉड्यूल 2।
स्वागत है भाई, स्वागत है।
बट भाई वापस भी
क्या
कर
मॉड्यूल
सकते
2
हैं,
के
अभी इंटरव्यू
रिपीटेड
है।
हैं कोई? हाँ भाई।
ओके। अरे हाँ आवाज नहीं आ रही थी क्योंकि मैं कुछ बोल नहीं रहा था। और सर का नाम अब मैंने लिख दिया, सर का नाम पढ़ सकते हो आप लोग। हेलो, एक सेकंड में। वॉइस इज लो क्या? हाँ अभी तो आनी चाहिए सही से। एक सेकंड ना, थोड़ा अपन, वैसे बैकग्राउंड कोई इतना बुरा नहीं है, फिर भी अपन ब्लर कर देते हैं। हाँ ठीक है। यस, मॉड्यूल 2 हम लेंगे। आई एम ऑल्सो वेरी एक्साइटेड टू सी ऑलमोस्ट 400 पीपल चलो, तो थोड़ा सा लेट्स स्टार्ट विद क्विक राउंड ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन। आप लोगों का तो मैं इंट्रोडक्शन ले नहीं पाऊंगा। ओके ओके, आई स्पीक इन इंग्लिश, डोंट वरी। सो आई एम भव्य पांडे and I will be taking module 2 for you guys. So we are going to be together for the month of September roughly. Okay. uh it should not echo actually because wait, because all of you are on mute, right? Anyways, let's start. So I am Bhavya. If sound is still low, please try increasing the volume from your end, because I think this way it should not be low actually. Okay. So anyways, so I'm Bhavya for the third time, and I will be taking your module 2. So I assume ki all of you have gone through the module 1, right, where you were taught basic concepts of programming along with arrays, sorting. Sorting was, I think, the main highlight of module 1, right? And other important concepts as well. So we will be recursion also, exactly. Recursion is also a very important part of module 1. Okay, so those concepts are very important for us to establish the you can say basics for what we are going to study in module 2. Okay, so what are we going to study in module 2? We will get to it in due course of time. Till then, let me just tell something about myself so that as other people are joining, they will not miss anything. Okay, anyways, I am Bhavya for the fourth time now, and I graduated from BITS Pilani last year, 2021. And I think you know module one, all of you know module 1 instructor Adarsh Mata, right? A very, very, very good instructor, as well as a very talented software engineer. He and I, so we were wingies in college. So basically, if you have lived in hostel, a wing is where a series of rooms are there, and you know a couple of guys stay together. So Adarsh and I, we stayed together from first year till the fourth year. We have studied together, and we have done stuff that I can't tell you together as well. Okay, so he's a very close friend, and I'll be continuing module 2 for you guys. Okay, so anything else that you would want to know before I tell you and before I start telling you what we will be continuing with in module 2? And I think I didn't tell you, but I'm currently working as a software development engineer, as a full stack software development engineer at Schlumberger. Okay, it's SCHLUM, Schlum, Berger Paints wala, BERGER. But because it's a French company, they call it not Schlumberger or Schlumberger, it's called Schlumberger. Okay, so that is one thing. CTCR, I can't tell you. Okay, I mean, I want to tell you, but it just doesn't look good, na. So, anyways, approx, it's अरे यार बताता हूँ, थोड़े थोड़े रुक के, डोंट वरी, है ना. नहीं, 1 करोड़ भी नहीं है और कोई दिक्कत वाला भी नहीं है, मतलब अच्छा है, काम चल रहा है एंड सही है. ब्रांच, so I graduated from electronics and instrumentation. There is a branch, in short we call it E&I. Okay, so that's my branch. And anything else that I should tell you about me? Yeah, I can also tell you something that is relevant for us, right? You don't need to worry about where I work or where I graduated from. The point is that I have been with AccuJob age 23 because I graduated last year only, right? So main point is that I have been with AccuJob since May 2021. That is last year May. So it's roughly 1.5 year I've spent with AccuJob. So I've taught a couple of students like you, and the experience has been really good. And with this new module system, I'm really looking forward to interacting with a huge amount of audience. So I think 425 is the count in this particular module, right? In the class. I'm sure actual count is even more than that. So I think this strength, if we combine all the students I have taught in last 1 year, this is the strength, 400, 500, roughly something like that. Okay, so this is going to be a new experience for me also, and I hope you also enjoy this 1 month roughly that we are going to spend together. Okay, so now let's get to what we are going to discuss or what we are going to study in module 2. Okay, so it's you search Bhavya Pandey, you will get it there. Bhavya Pandey, Schlumberger. Why did I choose IT? I'll give you a very honest answer. Okay, it's not that I liked coding. I couldn't go without coding or anything. Company अच्छी थी and पैसा मिल रहा था, so I joined IT. है ना? There is no special reason behind it. But now that I have joined, I really like the experience, and coding part is also really good there. Okay, so all that stuff is definitely there, but it's not that I am very passionate about coding. बिल्कुल मेरा breakfast नहीं होता coding के बिना, नहीं. But it's like that. Huh, but I can tell you something that is again more relevant to you. So I like teaching. Okay, I like teaching more than I like coding. Matlab, even if I was teaching chemistry, I would be teaching it with the same enthusiasm, right? So that's something that is relevant for you guys. I think it should be right. Also, anything else that might be relevant for you guys? Huh, this is something I can flaunt about. So because I was going to turn on the video, it's the first class. So to leave an impression, I wore a new shirt today. Okay, I hope you guys like it. And if you don't like it, please don't tell me. Okay, because okay. So okay, let's get to it then. What we are going to study in module 2. Okay, in module 1 you have covered basic building blocks, right? For loop, if else, conditionals, while loop, etc. Then main two important things that you studied were recursion, arrays, sorting, all that stuff. Okay, that is some non-negotiable stuff that we can't go without. वो अपने को चाहिए ही है. That is something that we have to understand only. Okay, uh, so that's first point. So if there is something that you don't understand from module 1, make sure that you take your weekends, take your time, and go back to it. Understand that definitely recursion is something that will need time. Okay, and it will need your time. As in, we can teach you recursion, we can even keep 1 week more classes for recursion, but the point is, for recursion you will only understand it when you sit with the code alone, try to understand what is happening, try to build a recursion stack for it. Only then you will be able to figure out what is happening there, and once you understand that, then you will start getting a hang of recursion. So that's the idea for recursion. Okay, it takes time, not only for you, it took time for me, it took time for others, it took time for all the students that we have taught over time. Okay, so that's on recursion, that's not your fault. Okay, anyways, acha ha, chat mein na please, ask doubts. Okay, I'm in favor of doubts, but try not to spam. Okay, I mean, you can, but just try. Okay, okay, taken. I've taken this. Please share some more questions from LeetCode. I will as I find them. Okay, but before you go on to solving more questions, more resources, more anything, just come back to the basics. Okay, come back to what AccioJob has given you. Okay, the set of questions, the practice questions and everything, the lectures that you have gone through. Go through that once again if you are not clear with the basics only. Okay, solving more new questions is not going to help it. Okay, that's my take. Okay, so let me tell you about the timing first, because I had a doubt for it in the chat. So timings for module 2 are going to be 8 to 9 p.m. your homework discussion classes, and then from 9 to 11, as we are going to have today, our lecture session. Okay, today I'm going to keep it plain and simple. We are not going to talk anything about code. We are not going to study anything about coding. Okay, we are only going to take you through the module 2, what all we are going to study, and then I'll try to take some generic doubts that you might be having, right? Related to module 2, module 1, anything related to AccioJob. Okay, now coming to the syllabus for module 2. So in module 2, we have 4 basic things, right? 4 basic concepts that we will be studying. Okay, yeah, this lecture is being recorded, don't worry. So 4 basic things that we will be studying in module 2. So we will be starting with OOP. Okay, so you might have heard about it, object oriented programming, right? So it is called as OOP in short, right? So that is the first focus point that we are going to spend time on. OOP we are going to study. That is very important for us to understand all the things that we will have from that point onwards. Okay, OOP is indirectly getting used in all the you can say code that you have written so far. You might not have realized it, but it is there, right? So we are just going to study more on that, study that formally, and after we are comfortable with OOP, what we are going to do then is we are going to study linked list. Okay, it is one very basic, very important. Nah, that's why I don't do this, right? OOP and 4 pillars, don't in detail or just basics. So Kundan somewhere in between actually, right? We will cover the basics in detail. I mean, that's the best description of what we are going to do. So we are not going to look into you can say irrelevant, or you can say high level concepts that are not really required at this stage. So we are not going to cover those. We are going to cover the concepts which are basics of OOP, building blocks of OOP, but that we are going to understand by heart. Okay, we are going to understand it properly, and it should be crystal clear to us by the end of the 3 lectures that we have planned for OOP. Okay. After that, we are going to study linked list. Linked list is also one very important data structure that you guys are going to come across. And these things, OOP, linked list, these are non-negotiable items in your placement kit. Okay, you have to know these two things and the other things that I'm going to tell you about in order to get placed. Okay, these are the very basic. This is, you can say, you have crossed level 0. Now this is level 1. Okay, so we are going to implement the concepts that others has taught you into understanding OOP, linked list, and then what we are going to do is we are going to study a very beautiful algorithm, binary search. Okay, if we talk about algorithms, this is not one of the, it's the only algorithm that is given so much weightage. Okay, in itself, binary search contains a lot of things. Okay, so binary search is again a very important part of your this is module 2, Drashti. This is module 2. Okay, again, binary search in itself is a, you can say, complete topic in itself. You will have a range of questions, a variety of questions ranging from easy to medium to maybe very difficult that we are not going to touch anyways. So binary search covers a, a complete you can say spectrum of questions, and it is very important from the perspective of interviews. Okay, so it's very important that you understand binary search also. Okay, then what we are going to do at the towards the end of this module is we are going to study other set of data structures, that is stack, queue, and double-ended queue, which is basically a modification of queue only. So basically you can say stack and queue. So what did I say? What is it that we are going to cover in module 2 primarily? We are going to start with OOP, object oriented programming. Then we are going to come to linked list. Okay, there we will see directly see the implementation of OOP. Okay, so that's a very beautiful linking. And then after that we are going to jump to binary search, which is a very good and very important algorithm from placement point of view. Then we are going to go to the next set of data structures, that is stack and queue. Okay, all the concepts that we are going to cover in module 2 are very easy. If you only look at the concepts, they are very easy. But since you guys are going to study it for the first time, you will have to give focus. Okay, you will have to pay attention to what is being taught, what is happening, and regularly practice, regularly basically keep your focus on the implementation part. How will you do that? So you will be given a set of questions on your AccuJob portal. I think you are familiar with all the basic stuff, right? You have your portal, questions are updated there, you code there, you can basically basically run your code, execute your code, you can submit it, you can get marks for that. All that basic stuff, that structure is going to remain same only, obviously, because we are going to uh, you know do it on the same website of AccuJob. So that is about the basic structure in a very basic way. This is the structure of module 2, and my intention is going to be that by the end of module 2 you are very clear with the basics of all these concepts, as well as if a question is thrown at you, I won't say you will be definitely be able to solve it, है ना, एकदम से देख के you will be able to solve it. That's not what I'm saying. But what you will be able to do is, if you see a question that is relating to these particular topics, your brain will start working. That's my job, or that's any instructor's job for any module. Okay, so that idea you are going to get, okay, after you complete module 2. Okay, so a couple of things before we go forward, and I think Surendra has raised hand, so I will just allow him to unmute. Yeah, Surendra, please go ahead. Till then I can go through the questions also. Module 1 and module 2, whose concepts? Definitely module 1, right? Because we are going to, as we are going forward, we are kind of going up in the difficulty level as well, right? Trees and graphs, everything will come. Okay, do not worry, that's not a part of module 2, but that's going to come in other modules, right? So if you don't know, your course has been divided into 4 different modules, right? Module 1, module 2 that we are currently pursuing, module 3 and module 4. So the topics that I have not discussed today, hashing, trees, all the other stuff, dp graph, whatever you want to understand, they are a part of the later modules. right? So do not worry about anything. We are going to cover everything, but in module 2 we are only going to cover these concepts that I talked about. Surendra, I actually asked you to unmute if you can, maybe because you've raised hand. So those who are working, so there would be a lot of you who are working also. So that's a very good thing. How you can take out time is just finish your job. Okay, do what you are asked to do there, and then just come here. In whatever time you are getting, focus on this one only. You might be getting weekends off, utilize that very judiciously, very properly, especially for people who are doing it with a job. Okay, it's not undoable, it's not something very different. You are not the first set of people to do it, right? A lot of people before you have done it, a lot of people after you will be continue doing that. So that's not something you can say impossible, but that's definitely a challenge, working and attending this boot camp at the same time. So you will have to take out some time on the weekends. You will have to make sure that you are regular in the lectures. Okay, that's the minimum requirement from you guys. I'll just take questions or information from the chat. Module 2 is the main part of DSA. Yes, module 1 and module 2, these are non-negotiable concepts that you will have to understand in order to be eligible to even sit for the placements. Right? अगर अपने को module 1 और module 2 पे grip नहीं है, if we do not have enough grip on module 1 and 2, then basically, on a personal level, I'm saying this, we are not actually eligible for sitting for placements of a company that's going to involve IT. Okay, so these are basic concepts, and आने चाहिए अपन को. There is no discussion around that. Okay, there is no other way around it, right? How many class on each topic on average? So basically, you can say three, 4 classes on OOP. I have planned 3 classes. If we require more, we will ask for more classes. If we require less, that's also fine. But I think in my experience, 3 classes should be more than enough for OOP. For linked list, we have planned 4 lectures, and same thing goes. Okay, it's not fixed. What we have done is we have tried to design the calendar in a way that we basically give enough time to each topic, but also don't overkill any particular topic. As an linked list pe we spend 7 days or anything, that's not required. For teaching, for getting you familiar with linked list, 4 classes should be enough. But again, if we require more, we can always talk about it. So 4 classes are planned on linked list. Similarly, 3, 4 classes on binary search, and same goes for stacks and queues also, right? अरे यार ऐसे मत करो यार, इसको वो कैसे करते हैं कैंसिल? Who can see what you share? ये शेयर किसने किया भाई? Opening another whiteboard will close the current. अरे यार. Anyways, just a second. Let me. Okay. Anyways, how much time? So roughly 3 weeks we are going to spend, right? Even less than, not less than 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks we are going to spend on module 2, roughly. Okay. So module 2 is a main part. Yeah, it's very important, that you can see for sure. Are there 4 modules or 8 modules? 8 modules are there for the whole boot camp. I'm saying 4 for DSA, right? We have followed a study pattern as said by others. Is yours the same? It yours is same, highly okay. If not, kindly begin with others way and then change to your style. um, I'll try to take this into account. Mostly it's similar only, but yeah, I, I'll I'll teach what I teach in my way. If you have any issue, then we can talk about it. Okay, so I think that's a reasonable. Thank you for asking, but yeah, that's my take on it. Anything else? How much time can we have extra classes? Yes, definitely. So we have planned it in September. We will see according to availability of both you and me. We will be having some classes around weekend also. So don't worry about it. Uh, Only use English. Yeah, I'll primarily use English, but I might switch to Hindi also in between because I think fast in Hindi, right? That's my first language. Uh, 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 uh. Hey, nice. Teachers are also here. Format of the interview we will take. I'm working professional. Anything else? Yeah, so basically, 1 and 2 we definitely have to do. I'm not saying 3 and 4 are not important. They are important, that's why they are a part of our syllabus. But this is the bare minimum. Even to get a 6 LPA job, 5 LPA job, this is the bare minimum. That's what I wanted to say. Definitely, as you keep on studying more concepts of DSA and establish your grip on it, you're going to move, up the ladder. That's what I meant. Pointer is not an issue. Okay, we have had dropouts taking jobs from AccuJob. So pointer, stream, previous job experience, nothing is a variable. As long as you have a grip on what we are teaching here, it's not going to matter, because once AccuJob sends you for placement, you are AccuJob's students, right? So this is the, you can say it's unrelated to what your college was, what your branch was. Okay, so don't worry about pointers or anything, right? Focus only on DSA and you will be good to go. So don't worry, those who are having trouble in solving the problems, just focus on what I'm trying to teach here, and maybe try to understand the logic and then try to understand different parts of code. If you're not able to understand the whole 20-line logic altogether, try to break it into parts, right? That's how I teach as well. So I'll try it that way, and if you still don't get it, we can talk about it. Okay, don't worry. So I did tell something about myself. Did you miss it? What do you want to know? That's also something I can take. Okay. Can you tell us more about upcoming interview? That's a good question, Humedi. I'll cover that. Okay. So let's keep taking these questions as they come, right? Otherwise, I'll forget by the end. Okay. So you are going to have your mock interviews starting anytime now, maybe from tomorrow or maybe from 3rd September. So that's a very important part of your qualification to module 2, right? You have given a written test. Now you will be having your mocks starting from anytime in September, right? Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And then you have to qualify those mocks also to be a part, to continue being a part of module 2. Okay, if you fail in the mocks, which I hope you don't, but if you fail, you are going to be sent back to module 1. And it's not that, the logic is pretty simple, right? We want you to perfect module 1 before you jump to module 2. With that logic, we are going to send you back to module 1. A lot of you would be repeating module 2 as well, right? So there is no harm in studying something more than once if you are not able to grasp it for the first time. Okay, so that's the idea. If you fail in your mock, let's say, you are going to be sent back to module 1, and passing marks, if you ask me, there are 10 marks that are allocated for your mock interviews. Out of that 10, you're supposed to score minimum 6 in order to be qualified for module 2. Okay, so that is something that will go on. One very important, listen this carefully, one very important information about mocks is you will have to complete your mocks before 12th September. 1 to 12th September. Before that, on or before that, you will have to complete your mocks to be able to be a part of, to continue being able to be a part of module 2, right? To continue in module 2, you will have to complete your mock till 12th September. If you fail to do so, you are going to again be sent back to module 1. Okay, so I think Lakshay or some other people would be sending you some notifications or some Calendly links or some kind of notification would be sent to you for filling out the information about your mocks. So just keep an eye on that. If I get some information from Lakshay or anyone, I will be informing it to you in class also. But you also keep an eye, like just keep an eye on that. Okay, whatever links you are getting for mocks, if there is a mock scheduled for you, be aware there. Okay, complete it before 12th September. Okay, how to prepare for interviews? I'm talking about the mock interview first. Okay, the other interviews are actually they are, after a long time, maybe at least 2 months, 3 months are there. So that I'm not going to cover today. But for your mocks, prepare your module 1 concept thoroughly. Okay, and main focus, I think it's quite natural. Give your main focus to sorting. because that's the main highlight of your module 1, right? It's going to be pretty straightforward for you guys to basically qualify this particular mock, because it's only going to contain they only have two options, right? Either they will ask you something from recursion, or they will ask you something from arrays sorting, basic stuff. So just be very thorough with those concepts. Okay, for recursion, practice more and more easy questions so that you understand what recursion is. Then maybe if you are comfortable with the idea of recursion, only then jump to medium questions, or hard questions just leave. Okay, so keep juggling between easy and medium for now, because I'm telling you, right, at this stage of our preparation, when we have just started, understanding the concepts is also important, and keeping the motivation alive for the newer concepts that are to come, that is also equally important. Okay, so don't spend too much time on recursion, that if we spend some time on a particular concept and we do not get returns out of it, मतलब if we are not able to understand that, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, तो only negative thought will come, है ना? You will think now nothing can happen, I'm just going to fail everything, which is not the case at all. Okay, everyone finds recursion difficult, so do not have thoughts like that. Okay, and the good part is every topic in module 2 is unrelated. Okay, so this is a common pattern that I have seen. That's why I am telling you guys, if worst case scenario, if let's say you are not able to understand OOP, object oriented programming, if you are not able to understand, or maybe you are 60-70% clear with it, you are not 100% clear with it, I mean, that should not happen. But if that is the case, do not miss the lectures for linked list, binary search, stack cube. All these 4 topics are mutually exclusive. Okay, I mean, there is a little part of OOP everywhere, but all in all, majorly they are mutually exclusive. So even if you don't understand one topic, do not stop attending lectures. Okay, and with that in mind, 75% attendance is required for you guys to be able to qualify for tests and mocks, right? So that is something which is important for you. And just forget it. Okay, ye 75%, 20%, just leave all these percentages. Personally, from as an instructor who wants you all to get placed in as good a job as possible, I am telling you, do anything. Okay, anything in your day, do anything during the lecture time. Just stay here focused. If you do not understand anything, and let's say I go ahead without explaining that, I explain everything twice or thrice, okay, but if I go ahead and you're not understanding the present concept, do not drop or leave the class. That's a common pattern, and even after repeating it 5 times, 20 times, you guys are going to do it. Okay, but still, from my part, I can only request you and advise you to not do that. Okay, do not stop attending lectures, do not drop out of lectures. If a difficult question is being discussed, it will take time. That's the reason why it's difficult, right? So do not drop out of lectures or stop attending lectures because एक दिन कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, right? So do not just do not do that. Okay, anyways, 75% attendance is mandatory in your lectures and your homework discussion classes, right? So another important point that we get to from this particular discussion is homework discussion classes, right? So we have seen that the attendance there is pretty skewed. Sometimes people will be there, sometimes people will not be there. So that is something that you guys need to work on. Okay, you have to be regular in solving your homework problems. I will be giving you certain problems by the end of every lecture. Okay, maybe not after OOP, but after all the DSA concepts that we are going to study, and you are supposed to solve it before the next class. We are only going to give you solvable questions, right? As we keep progressing in each topic, the difficulty of questions will increase. But in the beginning, पहले दिन में I will not give you question of copying the linked list with arbitrary pointer. Okay, that's a medium level difficult question of linked list. I'm not going to give you that on first class. But so basically, I'll be doing my best to sort the questions in increasing order of difficulty. But it's your job to solve the questions regularly, right? So that is something that's bare minimum that is expected from you guys. Okay, so be regular in everything that AccioJob is providing you. Okay, so a lot of you would be asking it by the end of module 2, and some of you are asking it even now. How do we prepare? Like, what are some general tips? So one tip that I always give, and again, this is something that always works. Why am I saying this? Because I have not taken it from a YouTube video of a topper. I have not taken it from a tier 3 person who went to Amazon video. Okay, this is something that I have faced myself and I have conquered it. How? If you are having difficulty in some particular topic, do not go and search for new questions. Come back to the older ones that you have solved, understand it properly. Okay, only then, once you are crystal clear with the concepts of the questions that you have already solved, then you can go ahead and explore Geeks for Geeks if that's your preferred platform, Lead Code if that's your preferred platform, right? So only then go to Lead Code or anything in the external world once you are clear with what AccioJob has to offer you. Okay, so that's also something from my end, and I'm pretty firm on it. Okay, do not drop out of lectures. That's मेरे को क्या है? So I have 453 people today. I will have 53 people tomorrow. Just saying randomly. मैं तो पढ़ाऊंगा ना, right? जो भी चीजें structured है, whatever the structure is, whatever the plan is, that will keep on going. But this I am telling only for you guys from my personal experience of having taught a lot of students with AccioJob only. Do not drop out of lectures. You will feel like dropping out, but that's where you have to basically take hold of yourself and come to the lectures. मन नहीं कर रहा है तो भी आओ, right? लग रहा है कि नहीं समझ में आएगा तो भी आओ, because I'm telling you, if you come to the lectures, you will be able to understand, right? So there is no other way to do it, है ना? Yeah, Shikhar, I'll just unmute you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sir, when we will work on project, sir?
Project, so that's a part of the later module. So it will start in module 3. Do not worry about it right now. So we want to get some basic understanding of coding, right? In module 1, you have only, let's say, started with it, right? You are till speed 20. If we take an example of riding a bike, so in this module we will try to go up to speed 40, 50, right? If you are able to handle your bike at a speed of 40, 50, only then we will send you to something that requires a speed of 60 to 80, right? So let's be comfortable with what we are doing in module 2. Let's get some basic idea around coding, and only then we are going to, come to, you can say, higher concepts such as building a project yourself, right? So that's a part of module 3. Do not worry about it right now. Okay. So Aryan, at this stage, do not worry about any of the technologies, right? So for DSA part, we use Java here, and we use Java for a reason, because it's the most preferred language, right? It has beautiful implementation of object-oriented programming within itself. So I would just ask you to follow DSA discussion based on Java. That's the only thing that you need to focus on right now. As far as the other development things are considered, you will be sent to front-end classes, back-end classes after your DSA is over, right? So just do not worry about anything. That's what I'm saying. I'm repeating it for the nth time again. Only focus on what AccioJob has planned to offer you, right? Because AccioJob has been doing it for a lot of years. So these people, including me, know what we are supposed to serve you to get you placed in your, first jobs, or maybe dream jobs, or better jobs than where you are right now. Okay. So we have planned it that way only. You do not need to worry anything about the structure of the course, or maybe what else you need to do. Only focus on what you are supposed to focus on from the AccioJob side, right? So for next 3 months, aankh band karke, just have a faith in us. Only talk about DSA, only study DSA, and as we move on and we feel that something else is also required, we will let you know from our end. Okay, so just do not worry about anything, right? So basically, I can't read your name, but yeah, can we take extra classes for more grip? We definitely can. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going on a small leave around 8th, 9th September. Apart from that, I'm available for the whole September. So we can and we will take extra classes if and when needed, right? So I will sync with Lakshay, I will sync with you guys. We will set a time at which everyone of us is comfortable, right? Or at least most of us, 80-90% of us are comfortable. So definitely we will do that, right? Sorting is really important. So Varun, that's the point. You can and you will use arrays.sort function. But in an interview, if someone asks you, how will you implement bubble sort? How will you implement quick sort? Write the recursive portion of merge sort, write the recursive portion of quick sort, right? Partition function, everything. So For that it is required, right? So any interview, when they want to start, they don't have anything in mind. Sorting is the first thing that comes to everyone's mind, right? Because it's the first thing that we study in DSA. So from that perspective it is important. Implementation wise, while coding, you will never be going to write this bubble sort or quick sort anything, because Java has done that job for us, right? Arrays.sort, it has a very high level and beautiful implementation of sorting functions, so we don't have to worry about it while coding. But from a getting a job perspective, this is very important, right? So I hope that answers your question, right? I'll again talk about myself because I see a lot of questions. So my experience has been of 1 year, right? This July 15th, I completed 1 year in my company. So August 15th, 1 year, and so basically 1 year, 1.5 months is my total experience. And I primarily work on cloud related technologies in my job. Okay, so it's a mix of coding and you can say cloud operational tasks, right? Then there are certain DevOps pipelines that are in place to implement whatever logic we want to automate. All that stuff is there, right? So it's a pretty diverse, you can say, tech stack that I'm currently working on. So that's about my current job role. That's what I've been doing for the last 7-8 months. And anything else that is relevant to you guys? I'm currently staying in Pune. So my company Schlumberger is having its office in Pune. So I'm in Pune only. Work from home is not there anymore. And personal level pay, if I tell you about myself, which is not relevant, but still, since you guys are asking, I in my free time I like going out. I like meeting new people, right? That's why one of the things that I like is teaching, right? I get to meet 450 new people, and people who are on mute, who will have to listen to me because I like talking, right? And it's not it's rarely possible that you are saying and someone is listening carefully. So here you don't have any option, right, other than to just drop the class. Anyways, that's for the fun side, but yeah, I like meeting new people. I'm an extrovert person, I think you must have guessed it by now. And I like singing, I like teaching, as I mentioned. I like it very much. Okay, and I think it's somewhere hereditary because my father is also a teacher. So I think I've got it from him. But yeah, I'm like my approach for teaching is that I have been a student. I am a student, right? We are always students. So my approach is, if I were to study this concept for the first time, right? When I studied this concept for the first time, what was the pain point that basically I experienced? So whenever I explain a concept, I explain it from that perspective, and I think that helps, right? I mean, based on the feedback that I get from students. So I hope that you will also feel the same only. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about me. Baki, we are going to like keep talking in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? So do not worry, you will get to know plenty about me. Okay, I'm seeing the same questions again and again. Let me just get to the bottom. एज तुम लोग मैट्रिमोनी साइट पे मेरा प्रोफाइल बनाने वाले हो क्या? एज 23 बाय द वे. अरे एक सेकंड ना, डू नॉट spam the chat because I saw 418 messages. कैसे पढ़ पाऊंगा मैं, right? Are you into DSA front end or back end? So Dinesh, no one is into DSA from a job perspective, right? It's just at the entry, at the entry you have a gate. To open that gate and to get inside the castle, DSA is the key. Okay, once you get inside that, I no longer, I don't solve Q questions, or I don't actually use the hashing or mapping or trees in my real life. But these concepts open your mind. Okay, so DSA, you can say obviously you are going to use DSA. Okay, I'm not saying that it's completely irrelevant. You are going to use DSA for understanding the code that is written, right? For understanding the data structure that has been used, how it is working. So to get a feel of it, DSA is very, very important, right? But practically speaking, 90% of your job is going to be around other things, right? From a job perspective, like on the job perspective, OOP is more relevant than DSA, right? So if I tell you about myself, I am into backend plus cloud. So it's a combo kind of flavor that I'm getting there. Front end, I don't really do front end, but yeah, that is also something that can be like that is there in my team, but I don't work on front end, right? So any of DSA is not directly used. Okay, so you will not use arrays.sort or anything there, but you will have to see what happens is while writing your backend logic in, let's say if you are working on Node.js, right? So that's the stack that my company uses. So I've also worked on a little of Node.js. So there are certain functions which are built on DSA. Your job is only to call those functions, only to use those functions. But it's very, very, very good if you understand what is the logic that would be going behind that. Okay, so if you understand what the logic is, you will be able to like compete the algorithms. You will be able to select the better one, right? And if just forget everything, the best part or the most important part is when you are using a particular function, you will be able to understand at least roughly that what the implementation is going to be at the backend, right? So when you are at backend, let's say you are supposed to sort something. Okay, so you are going to sort it by some particular key. All of us like go through websites, right? Even if we are not a developer at this stage, we go through websites, right? Sorting is there, filtering is there. Very basic example I am taking. All this is having a particular logic that is getting computed, right? So those logics are getting implemented with the help of functions that the particular library has to offer you. So to understand, we don't really need to understand the implementation. I don't know the implementation of majority of the functions that I use, but I know what the job it is doing, right? But knowing DSA gives you a deeper understanding of the logic that you are using, right? So especially for backend jobs, DSA is taken as a very important factor. Plus, another thing is nowadays there are a lot of profiles in IT, right? Starting from basic your web development to data science and other ML AI related stuff, right? At this level, we are all entry level engineers, right? We are all junior people compared to 30-year, 40-year-old people. At this point, to level the competition, to standardize the process, these guys have only one way to judge you, right? These guys ask you DSA, right? So that's the importance of DSA to get into the job. In the job, you will not be using much of DSA, right? There will be other stuff that you will be working on. Okay. So this problem we will come to, the distraction problem. Okay. What if you want to join classes but couldn't join because of timings, rely on recordings? So Suraj, all these things, whenever there is a genuine concern, you will not be, you can say your promotion to the next module will not be hindered because of that, right? But obviously keep your batch manager informed. Whatever you do, just do it in a formal manner, right? If you are not able to attend the lecture and there's some genuine concern, please share it with the batch manager, right? Our intention, I told you, right? My intention is not to get as many people as possible in my class. That's not my intention, right? But the point is, if you attend more classes, you only will be more clear with the concepts and you will be easily promoted to the next module. That's why this concept is there, right? Of the attendance and everything. So that is only for your benefit. If there is a genuine problem that you are having, just share it with the batch manager. Everything is going to get solved if you talk to the right people, right? Okay. बिल्कुल definitely. I belong to MP. वैसे I am from मतलब Bhopal. My family is living in Bhopal. I am in Pune for the job, and basically my roots. So my parents belong to UP. Okay, कानपुर लखनऊ. अरे यार तो आदर्श के बारे में नहीं बता रहा मैं अभी. What we have to do, what we have to code for companies. They train us for their work or not. They train you. Okay, you are entry level people. Even if they don't have a formal program in place, you will be like you will directly be given the service that you are supposed to work on. But in the first few months, not even days or weeks, in the first few months, you can ask any silly doubt, anything that is coming to your mind. Even if you are not able to set up the service on your local computer, and that's a pretty big problem, right? उनका कोड ऐसा थोड़ा ना होता है कि एक हेलो वर्ल्ड HTML पेज पे प्रिंट करवा दिया, right? They have bulky code. So even to set it up on your local computer can be problematic sometimes, right? Some authentication issues are there. You don't have enough permissions. Your service is calling some other service. Authentication issues there. So all that stuff comes when you go to the real job. If your company does not have a formal program for that, the first few months you are expected to explore it yourself and ask the doubts. And everyone, that's the best part. Okay, I mean, this is something from for my company. Definitely I'm very impressed. But even for my friends I'm talking about working in various companies, at this initial stage everyone likes it when you ask doubts, okay, and everyone is very eager to solve them for you. And even in most of the companies these days the concept is when you join a particular team, a dedicated mentor is assigned to you. So if I join my team, one mentor was given to me. If I have any doubts related to the repository setup or code setup, anything, I went to him and asked it, right? So all that stuff is there in place, so do not worry. Okay, since recursion was not in coding test, will it be in the interview? Okay, if it was not in the coding test, maybe it was by chance that it was not there. Okay, so anyways, do prepare for recursion, but still, I will ask this question from Lakshya also. Okay, I'll get back to you tomorrow, but from my end, I think at least have a basic grip on recursion. Okay, recursion will not be in this interview. Okay, if others said that it will not be in your interview, then it will not be there. Okay, still I will ask it to Lakshay once and give you a formal confirmation on that. Okay, which type of languages do you use? So mostly scripting, right, to interconnect two particular things, Python, PowerShell, all that stuff is also there. Plus I told you, right, to use the cloud services that your cloud providers are providing. So internally we also have to manage those services somewhere, right? So for our information we also have a proper backend developed that is in Node.js. So a variety of tech stack is there, right? CTC मैं नहीं बता रहा, तुम कितनी बार भी पूछ लो. When learned and where you learned coding? When you learned, so I learned in my you can say third year primarily, है ना, from college only. But where you learned, so yeah, in my college only along with my friends, right, others and my other friends. So that's your when and where. Okay, एक सेकंड ना. हाँ, they give you new laptop, बिल्कुल. कितने सवाल? अरे 141 फिर से हो गए यार, एक सेकंड ना. CTC motivation के लिए, so my base salary is in the range from 15 to 20. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell, है ना. It's below 30 CTC I'm talking about. So just like हो गया ना, मतलब ठीक है. नहीं 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 नहीं, CTC, अरे डोंट गेट इनटू इट. उधर पे देखो जो मैंने बेस बताया, दैट्स ऑल दैट मैटर्स, ठीक है ना. अब हट के आते हैं, लेट्स गेट बैक टू मॉड्यूल 2. डू यू हैव एनी डाउट्स रिगार्डिंग मॉड्यूल 2? आई मीन you won't be having, है ना, अभी अपन ने स्टार्ट नहीं किया है, but still, and I also wrote some pointers for you guys. I mean, I was talking to Lakshay before class. Let me see. Huh. One important thing that I actually missed, right? So I will just cover it and then get back to your doubts. Okay. Yeah, so it has been observed, and I was shocked by this observation, but still, it has been observed that a lot of you as in all the students, not only the 420 people that are here today, do not solve assignments on the portal. Okay, so that's a very important parameter for us to judge how you are performing, how frequent you are with the practice, right? So please, after the class, or yeah, after the class only, not during the class, go to the AccuJob portal, solve the questions that we have solved in class, solve the questions that I have given you as homework. First priority, definitely give to the homework problems always. Then you can also solve the questions that we solved in the class, right? Use the AccuJob portal properly. Okay, solve the questions. So all your problems that you have, concept nahi samajh mein aa raha hai, we are not able to code, we are not able to think, all these problems will only go when you go to the portal and actually solve something, actually code something, right? So that's the only way to, you can say, learn coding and master it. Okay, so that is something. And one formal information about that is you are supposed to cover or you can say solve at least 50% problems, 50% of the assignments on AccuJob. Okay, this is a number that Lakshay told me, so I am passing it to you as it is, 50% of the problems on portal. But my personal number is solve all of them, na? Like what else do you have to do? और क्या करना है आपको, है ना? Solve all the problems that you have on portal. So I'll repeat in Hindi because some of you are asking. So what I said was, कुछ लोग तुम में से portal पे problem solve नहीं कर रहे हैं, right? There are assignments on the AccuJob portal. So what I was asking you to do is solve more and more problems from the portal, right? Maybe if you are not getting time on the weekdays पे time नहीं भी मिला, तो weekends तो है ही ना अपने पास. Saturday, कुछ लोग का Saturday भी working है, वो भी मान लिया. Sunday तो है ना अपने पास. So use that here. राइट. सो इफ यू वर्क ऑन दीज सैटरडेज एंड संडेज, बाकी लाइफ में सारे सैटरडे संडेज फ्री है ना. अभी मैं क्या करता हूँ सैटरडे को, मैं क्या करता हूँ फ्राइडे को चलो क्लास लेता हूँ मैं. सैटरडे संडे क्या करता हूँ मैं, बाहर निकल जाता हूँ ना, मेरे को कोई काम थोड़ी ना सैटरडे को अभी, राइट. सो इफ यू just use these Saturdays Sundays very judiciously, very properly. ये सैटरडे संडे अपन को बहुत ही ध्यान से यूज करने हैं, बिकॉज कुछ भी रीजन से इफ यू डिड नॉट गेट टाइम ऑन द वीकडेज, है ना, अपने को इन 5 दिनों में मंडे टू फ्राइडे यू डिड नॉट गेट टाइम, सैटरडे संडे ऑल ऑफ अस हैव, राइट. सो यूज दैट प्रॉपर्ली टू सॉल्व मोर एंड मोर प्रॉब्लम्स. एंड अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू, 50% ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स सॉल्व करना मैंडेटरी है to be considered for promotion to the next module. That is the number that Lakshay gave me, but I am again repeating this. 50% क्यों? तो solve 100% questions, right? Solve all the questions that are there on the portal. मतलब अपने पास और काम क्या है? That's what I said, right? Engineering percentage is not considered. Gym के questions या assignment के questions. एक तो यार कुछ चीजें तो मेरे लिए भी नहीं है. अब gym क्या होता है? Gym, what is gym? Hey, actually, I'm talking about assignments only. So you have a module tab on your portal, right? In the module, you have assignments. I am talking about module assignments. Gym, I just saw it. Gym is a pool of questions, right? That is on you. First, complete the questions from module, the assignments that have been created for you for this specific module. After that, go to gym, right? ये AccuJob वाला gym. Right. Sagar, please raise hand if you want me to unmute you. And Vivek, I'll just unmute you. Yeah. Go ahead. Right. Completed all assignments, but my leaderboard score on portal is very low. No. If you are honestly doing your work, so Pooja, this is for everyone, right? Pooja has asked this question. She understands the questions. She even solves it on the portal regularly. Her leaderboard score might be low. Is that going to affect the placements in any way? No. Okay. Yeah, Vivek, I asked you to unmute. Please unmute yourself. हाँ,
हेलो
go
सर.
ahead. हाँ,
हाँ सर, एक प्रॉब्लम है, लाइक एक्वाजब पोर्टल पे जो जिम का क्वेश्चंस है उसमें प्रॉब्लम ये आ रही, मतलब आपने बोला कि एक्वाजब का पोर्टल पे जो है उसको करो और उसके बाद मतलब बाकी प्लेटफॉर्म्स यूज करो. उसमें दिक्कत क्या आ रही है ना कि लाइक बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन ऐसे हैं जो मतलब लॉजिक कोड सब सही है, फिर भी लाइक टेस्ट केसेस फेल हो रहे हैं
ठीक है,
और
ठीक है,
बाकी
ठीक है.
प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे वो सही चल रहे हैं. तो
So
इसमें थोड़ी
don't worry,
प्रॉब्लम है.
don't worry. देखो, for assignments, I am again telling you, for assignments, first focus should be on AccuJob, है ना? Because we also want to track what you guys are doing. Just to, it's a kind of proof of the work that you have done, right? That's the only role it has to play. उसके बाद, once you have solved the questions on module, prefer solving the gym questions on AccuJob portal. If you're having an issue, do two things. Okay, first, report that issue to the program batch manager or anyone that you are in contact with. Okay, report that issue. Then
Yes.
obviously for practice purpose you can go to any portal on the internet, right? So that's my point. Assignments, do it from the AccuJob portal because we want to keep a track of it. उसके बाद में go to AccuJob का gym. If that is not working for some particular question, report it so that we can fix it, है ना? And then obviously go to what is my intention? My intention is to make you as prepared as possible for the job ना. अब चाहे तुम
Yes, sir, you are right.
questions करके हो रहे हो या GFG से हो रहे हो, that's nowhere our I mean that's not a constraint that we are putting on you. जो भी आपको समझ में आ रहा है उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाके आप करो, नॉट एन इशू. बट फॉर असाइनमेंट्स, बिकॉज वी वांट टू कीप ट्रैक, उसको give preference to the AccuJob portal, right? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Sagar, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
हाँ, go ahead, please. Uh, are you saying something? Are removed from panel. Why? All videos of module 1 are removed. Okay, so we will look into it. Since everything we are taught is in Java, all companies prefer Python. All companies, which all companies prefer Python? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. If you know Java, you go to an interview, say I know Java, no one is going to reject you, right? So I had not written a single line, even hello world, before I joined Schlumberger in Python. I was not asked about it, है ना? So that's what I am telling you. Use any language of your choice, right? We are using Java here. No one is going to judge you based on that. जो लैंग्वेज आपने पिक करी है वो आपको अच्छे से आनी चाहिए, राइट? दैट्स ऑल. Yeah, exactly. Logic is going to be same whichever the language is, right? Lead code versus GFG, what to choose? So when I started programming, I went with GFG. Okay, I solved the school basic easy level problems, but then as I moved on, lead code is actually a better platform to go to, right? So if you ask me now if I'm supposed to solve a problem, where will I go? I will go to lead code hands down. But in the beginning I went to GFG. Because why? Because GFG has a lot of beautiful questions, one liner questions, right? Which is very important for you to boost your confidence, right? So 1 mark questions, 2 mark questions that are there on GFG are actually very good to like play around and get a better grasp or grip on the concepts, right? So both are good platforms, and depending on these things you can choose any one of those, right? Yeah. Anmol, go ahead please.
यस सर. सर कभी कभी ना टाइम नहीं मिल पाता, जैसे लीड कोड जीएफसी जैसे इस पे टाइम लग जाता है अपने एक्टिव के जिम वाले पे, तो फोकस किस पे ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, एक्टिव के जिम पे या फिर इन पे भी करा करेगी?
See, first focus package of assignments, right? And then you can go to these platforms, right? Lead code, GFG, solve easy problems, solve medium problems. So that would be more than enough. Okay, not more than enough, but that would be sufficient. Okay, for the companies that we are preparing for, है ना?
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, एक और है.
हाँ बोलो
सर
बोलो.
जैसे मान लो मैंने कि एरे या लिंक लिस्ट है लिया, तो उसमें 500 प्लस होते हैं क्वेश्चंस, तो उसमें कितना ही फिल्टर करो ना, मतलब कि पता नहीं चलता किस किस का करे.
So पहला तो ये है कि one filtration has been done for you, what we are discussing in the class and giving you as homework. Second level of filter is solve the easy questions, okay? And one practical filter that you can implement on lead code is every question has a number of likes and dislikes. So there is a thumbs up and thumbs down symbol on lead code. So if you are having doubt on which question to solve, the famous questions, the classic DSA questions are always having a lot of thumbs up, like maybe 2000 to like from 2000 to 20,000 likes are there on good questions, and in that ratio the number of dislikes is very low. So if you are ever stuck which questions to solve, which not to solve, first go to the easy questions, and even in easy, go to the questions which have more number of likes. Also there is another, let me share my screen. Right, so if you it's not loading. Anyways, so if you go on lead code, if you are selecting any particular question set, there is also a column called as acceptance. So there is an acceptance percentage also, so ranging from I think 20% to 70%. So question that has 70% acceptance, what does it mean? It is really easy, है ना? That's why 70% of the codes that were submitted got accepted, right? So these are some kind of filters that you can put, right? So 200 questions का 20, 30, 50 questions हो जाएंगे, which will be a manageable number basically, right? So you can go around like that, right? Easy, medium questions solve करके. Okay.
थैंक यू सर.
No, definitely. One thing, have you ever did you ever get stuck with code while performing program in your company? Daily, रोज का है ये. This is a standard process. I get stuck. I'm not hesitant about it. Everyone gets stuck, and even my seniors get stuck sometimes. It's just that when you get stuck, I might take 2 days to get out of it. My seniors, on the other hand, might take 2 minutes, 2 hours to get out of it. Right? So with experience, you are just getting to know better which sources to look up to for knowledge. क्या Google करना है? This is the skill that keeps on polishing itself as you move from SD1 to SD2 to SD3, right? Further up the ladder, right? So the only skill that you improve upon as you move, like progress in your career is what to Google, right? Everyone gets stuck. I'm not making this up, right? I get stuck daily. Okay, so I mean that's a very practical thing. So Meet, this is to answer your question actually, है ना? अरे आज I don't want to start, right? Let's keep this class for introduction only. Hoop आज नहीं होगा. Okay, how many questions have you solved at LeetCode? I have actually solved a very low number of questions, so I will have to check and tell you, but yeah, don't go on my number. Okay, module 1 recording access, that I will look into. Okay, modules, can I completely go with recorded class? Any problem with attendance? No, that should not be an issue, right? But just inform, keep Lakshay informed in advance. Okay, today we will end when we are done talking, so there is no hard limit there. Tomorrow class timing same, 9 to 11 time. Class timing is the same throughout the module. 8 to 9 for doubt class and 9 to 11 for lecture class, right? Module 1 recording are there on portal. Go to modules, click on drop down list and select intro to DSA. If that is the case, then you can look into it. Let me just go through the questions on chat once, then I'll unmute you, Ujjwal and Nivita. LeetCode and GFG कंसिडर कैसे पता करें कि कितना टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी में सॉल्व करना है क्वेश्चन. Go with the basic approach, right? Go with the basic approach. Aryan, this is for you. So whatever is coming to your mind, 2 for loops, 3 for loops, just focus on solving the question, right? And then when we will be studying different data structures, you will realize that okay, this is certain optimization that I can use. Okay, in most of the cases it is possible that you are not able to figure out how to optimize your code. Do not worry about it. On LeetCode, go to, let me just show you only LeetCode. I tried it, but let me share my screen just a second. Where is it? Huh. So basically, so this is the question, right? Savare sum divisible by k. You can do whatever you want to do. So this is just a demonstration of one question that I took in the previous module, right? Before this I taught module 3. So what I did there was, any code that I write, I always try to break it down to steps, right? Do this, then 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 do this. Okay, so that's what I was trying to convey. If you are not able to understand the 20-line logic all together, break the code into different parts. Try to understand them individually, and then go into understanding the whole logic together. So if you on LeetCode, I'm telling this, right? So first is to answer, I think Yogesh who asked that question, how many questions to solve and like where to go to. So see, if you are stuck and if you are not able to understand which question, whether to solve this question or not, see, this has 3400 likes and only 142 thumbs down or dislikes. So this is clearly a very good question, right? A lot of people liked it, and people liked it because it has a logical approach to it, right? What people don't like is, people don't like unnecessarily tough questions, right? Which are not relevant anywhere. So that's one filter. If you go to, so I implemented something here. Let's say it's a very trash logic. It's a brute force approach, which is very bad in time complexity and space complexity. So what I can do is, I can always go to discuss. Okay, best part about LeetCode is the community. Okay, so here we have people from all over the world, right? They have pasted their best solution, whatever they have thought of. You can follow any of the solutions, just sorted by most votes. Okay, hot might be the answer that is getting a lot of attention in the recent days. Then newest to oldest, as the name suggests. So this code was submitted 5 hours ago, right? What you need to sort it from is most votes. The answer that has most votes is the one that is the most famous and the one that most people went to, right? So if this answer has most votes, it is likely that detailed whiteboard beats 100% of the solutions. If it beats 100% of the submissions, what does it mean? It's definitely the best way to go about it, right? So that's what I was saying. Coming back to the original question, like how to code the question, I think this was the question, and how to optimize it. start coding with whatever you feel like, है ना? Whatever it is, just go with the brute force approach. Then when you are done with it, if you are not able to optimize it further, just come to this section and just verify once कि इसने भी वही किया ना जो that I was thinking. So that is something that you can, it's a foolproof way of checking what's happening, right? So this is something that you can and you should always do. Okay, so this is one thing. And then yeah, I think this is what I wanted to tell you. I'll just stop sharing now and coming back to chat. Is DSA enough to get placed, or do we need to learn frameworks? Is DSA enough? Yes, it is. Okay, so most of my students get placed after I was done teaching them DSA, right? So earlier we had this batch system now, where so if I am teaching a batch DSA, I used to teach right from the for loop till the graphs, DP trees, everything. So once I was done with them, most of them used to get placed, right? This happened with not only me, every batch, every instructor. This is what used to happen, right? But if let's say for some reason you are not placed, you have other things also, front end, back end. So after DSA, what will happen? You will start getting your chance at the companies, right? So based on a lot of factors, you will be like selected there, right? So is DSA enough? Yes, it is. But as time will go on, we will keep teaching you front end, back end, all that stuff. So you can focus on that, right? Code समझ में नहीं आता, Giriraj, so that is a struggle, right? Sometimes it's not very easy to understand what code they have written. So I mean, with time it will come. So what I do in such a case is there are 4 or 5 top voted questions, right? If I do not understand the code of one, I just reject it. I go to the other one, right? And even we don't need to care about the language, right? हमने Java में लिखा है तो उसका भी Java में ही हो. He can code his logic in C++ also. We can pick the logic from there and convert it to Java ourselves, right? This level of maturity is expected from us, है ना? So I agree with you, Giriraj. It's a real problem, but with time it will keep getting easier for you, right? Let me just set total number of questions. Yeah, I will tell you what it is, but the number is pretty low, so do not take my example, right? Others, however, has done a lot of questions. So if you want to get inspired, take his example. I started LeetCode very late, so I have only solved 200 questions on LeetCode, right? That's not a very good number. So don't follow me on that. Follow बोल रहा हूँ. Solve at least. I mean, 200 is not a very bad number as such, but yeah, solve more and more questions as possible. Your number might be even lower. Why? Because you are solving the questions, same questions on AccuJob portal, right? So do not worry about that. As far as new questions are considered, try solving 10 questions of each concept, right? So by the end of the DSA part, you will have solved 150, 200 questions easily, right? So keep solving LeetCode questions. 1 second, na? How much CTC we can expect with pure DSA? So Varun, there is no limit, right? Like honestly speaking, there is no limit for the CTC that you can get based only on DSA, right? But it all depends on a lot of factors also, which companies are coming, what opportunities we are getting, how we are able to perform there, right? So that's the thing, right? 1 second, and now I will ask these guys to unmute Ujjwal and Niveta, so because they have been waiting for a long time. Yeah, Ujjwal, please go ahead.
Yes, hi sir. Sir, मेरा एक general doubt था कि like sometimes coding करते हुए जब किसी question में stuck हो जाते हैं, तो it feels like कि मतलब एक बहुत disappointment feel होती है, और जब उस question का हम solution देखते हैं और ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये तो मुझे सोच लेना चाहिए था, ये मैं क्यों नहीं सोच पाया, तो वो wave of disappointment आती है, तो उसको cope कैसे करना?
यार ये ना with time this only focus on how you are improving. ठीक है, अगर आज नहीं हो रहा है तो do not get disappointed. It's quite natural. It has happened with me. It has happened with your Adarsh sir. It has happened with everyone, right? So do not get disappointed. First of all, focus on what if you're not able to do it today, if you come back to the same question, let's say after 15 days, if then also it's not getting clear, that means you need to practice more, right? So judge based on how you are improving rather than focusing on where you are currently standing, right? So if let's say on a scale of 0 to 10, you are currently at I'm keeping a low number for a reason. Let's say you're at 2. Okay, so that is not a number you're supposed to worried about. You should be focused on how I can reach to 10. ठीक है ना? It's perfectly, and it's good that you're owning this thing that you're not able to figure out the logic, right? So your target should be, if I'm not able to figure it out today, let me understand it completely by seeing the solution, and then if I come to the same problem tomorrow, you definitely will see a change there, right? So what will happen what is the advantage of solving more and more questions is, Ujjwal and everyone, once you solve a question and you understand it, no, the next time you come to it, it's not necessary कि आपको बिल्कुल कोड याद आ जाएगा, but you will at least be able to move, right? You will have some line of thought in your mind that will be working to guide you in which direction you need to go to. मतलब एक मन में solution बनने लगेगा कि कुछ तो ऐसा करना है using this data structure involving two queues, push it from there, pull it from there, pull it out from there. Some logic will start building in your mind. That is all we need, right? That is why we solve more and more questions to, just to build this memory, right? So that's why we say, it's all about practice. So if, let's say, if I sing and if I have picked up a particular song, so what will happen is, on day 1 I will have to put a lot of effort in singing it, but maybe on day 10 it will naturally come, right? So that's the same with coding also. If you are solving one question today, not able to figure it out at all, you will be disappointed. It's natural and it's good. A little amount of disappointment is good, but only focus on whether you are able to have a better grip on it the next time you come to it or not, है ना? बस उस पे focus करो. अभी नहीं आया तो नहीं आया. Just, it's very natural. I'm telling you, like you're not the only one, so don't worry about it, है ना?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Yeah, Nimita, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
How many chances do we have to crack the interview, sir? Only one, or we can give
Unlimited.
multiple?
Unlimited.
Okay.
Till you get placed.
We have to. No, sir. I'm asking about the module 1 interview, mock interview. Only one.
Only one. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay, sir. Thank you.
yeah, nice that you clarified it. Not unlimited for the mock interviews. Okay, only one chance there, because it's impractical, or you can say it's not possible for us to keep conducting those interviews. But for the job interviews, till the time you get placed, we will be there with you, pushing you to all the interviews of the companies that are coming, right? Yeah, Anmol, please go ahead.
सर पहले आपने बताया था कि कैसे फिल्टर आउट करा जाता है लीड कोड के क्वेश्चंस को. अभी मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, जैसे मैंने एसजी शीट को काफी देर से फॉलो करा था, मतलब कि कई महीनों से, जैसे लव पावर की है, तो वो सही है क्या सर? एसजी
बिल्कुल सही है, बिल्कुल
क्योंकि सर उससे पैटर्न्स अच्छी तरीके से मुझे पता चल जाता है कि इस टॉपिक में ये पैटर्न्स यूज हो रहे हैं.
नहीं, बिल्कुल, they are also very good, and in fact one practical thing that I will tell you about those sheets is they actually go to the higher level also. मतलब what I'm trying to say is, उसको अपन ने थोड़ा सा मिस भी कर दिया ना उसके higher questions, then also we are good to go, right? So those are really good set of questions. Anuj, Bhaiya, Love Babbar, all these people, like I respect them a lot. Being a teacher myself, they have a very good way of explaining stuff, and all of them are successful software engineers, right? I mean, at least for us, what is our intention? Our intention is to get as much money as possible out of these IT companies, right? So they have aced it. So definitely, that's if you are following any particular sheet, stick to one sheet. But yeah, it's very good that you are following it. I mean, no issues about it. Still, focus on the accuracy of questions first. Why? Because for that you have the whole toolkit. Not only the question, you have the explanation, you have the code, and when we are actually experiencing something, when you're coming to the class, seeing a question getting solved, then it's very easy to grasp it. Maybe I will say something during the explanation that might get stuck in your mind, है ना? कि जब अपन ये कर रहे थे तो भव्य ने ये बोला था, and उससे maybe you will remember it. So we don't know what's going to benefit us. So ये तो अपनी first priority है ही. After that, if you are going to follow that particular sheet, no issues about it. It's actually, like, those sheets are very good, no doubt about it, है ना?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. And even for those sheets, so this is for everyone. If you are following any sheet, focus on the easy and medium questions first. Okay, that's what I tell everyone. You should be good at what you are proposing, and it should not be like you are very good at stack and arrays का आपसे basic question भी नहीं हो रहा, right? That level of skewedness or you can say imbalance should not be there. Okay, so you should be equally thorough with the basics of all the concepts, right? Yeah, Smithal, please go ahead.
Yes sir, I wanted to ask you about the attendance. जैसे आपने बोला था कि 75% अटेंडेंस क्राइटेरिया होगी, वो सिर्फ किस चीज के लिए होगी?
For the next module, for promoting to the next module.
तो सर अगर जैसे ऐसी सिचुएशन आए कि 75% अटेंडेंस से कम हो, बट हमने अपने सारे असाइनमेंट्स कंप्लीट कर रखे हो, मतलब अप टू डेट रहे, क्योंकि जनरली आई प्रेफर टू वॉच द रिकॉर्डिंग्स एट 1.5 और 2x स्पीड, उससे मेरे को समझ भी आ जाता है एंड आई कंप्लीट वॉच द रिकॉर्डिंग. हाँ, तो आई आस्किंग अबाउट दैट सिचुएशन. अगर असाइनमेंट अप टू डेट है,
just keep your batch manager informed. It should not be a very big issue, but what I am trying to say is the best chance of understanding the concepts is in the live lecture, right? Recordings mein when the liberty is given to us कि हमें देखना है, we can misuse that liberty. So with that intention we are imposing these these rules. 50% assignment karo, 75% class off. Okay, but if you are comfortable in that pattern, we are not going to force you unnecessarily. Just inform Lakshay about it and see what he has to say about it, right? मेरा intention क्या है? Yeah, so how will my success be measured? If we have, let's say, 350 people, we had 450 people in the beginning. If all 450 of you go to the next module, that says a lot about me also, na? So that's all we are trying to do. Agar you don't come to the lecture and you are well versed with the concepts, that's not an issue to me or anyone, right? But a general observation for all the people is that the more lectures you attend, and it's true only, there is no second thoughts about it. If there are 350 people at this moment, only 10 of you would be able to religiously follow the recordings. Okay, I'm pretty sure about it. Okay, 10 is not a low number. Only 10 of you would be able to follow the recordings religiously, all the recordings, if you are following the recording. So that's why we encourage or we motivate you or we advise you to come to the live lectures and homework sessions, everything. And for homework classes, it's basically advised that you first solve the homework problems, na? Only then you will have doubts, only then you will be able to understand what the instructor is trying to say, because your homework class teachers, they only have 1 hour to engage you, right? Usme they can't keep going into the depth of explaining the question first, right? So those basic things should be there. आपने question देखा, आपको बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं समझा, that's also fine, but what is required is you at least look at the question once, give it some minutes of your thought, right? 10-15 minutes सोचो उसके बारे में. If you are not able to figure that out, that's a eligible attempt, right? That will be considered. Baki, yeah, Smithul, just inform Lakshay about it once, and it's not an issue there, right? If you have been doing it with module 1 and you're comfortable with that, not an issue. Sure. Sorry. Yeah, Shiv, and after Shiv and SK, I'll get back to the chat again. है ना?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Shiv, go ahead.
Sir, will there be coding question in mock interviews?
हाँ, coding question में mock interviews में coding questions होंगे ना?
Okay, sir. Or either it is based on only concept?
Yeah, only module 1 concepts.
Okay, sir.
हाँ, है ना? Recursion, I'll get back to you, because some of you are saying Adarsh said recursion will not be there. So if he said mostly it will not be there, but just for my curiosity, I will ask Lakshay once and I will confirm it tomorrow. ठीक है ना?
Yes.
Yeah, SK, yeah, go ahead.
सर मेरे को ये जानना था कि 3-4 ईयर का गैप है मेरा, तो उनको भी इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है प्लेसमेंट के दौरान?
बिल्कुल. I think it is on YouTube also. There is one mother who took a career break, right? She also got placed through AccioJob. There is one teacher, who was a professor at some university. He also got placed. So their cases are more extreme than ours. So just do not worry about any of the past experiences that you have, right? that's not at all to be taken into account. If you're 22 years old, 26 years old, mechanical engineering, CS, everything is equal as long as you are able to show your skills of DSA. Okay, I will go to address the doubts in chat now, because there's a lot of file waiting for me there as well. Who will take the homework classes? So there are different set of people. Like we have one lecture for all of you. We will be having one homework homework problem class for 100 of you. So let's say 450 people join today, right? Roughly. So you will be broken into 5 different classes, right? Or maybe 4 different classes of 110 each. Or I think official number is, if 450 people joined, official number is definitely like very high, maybe in 600, 800 something. So you will be divided into different batches based on that. Okay, so like that, your different teachers will be allotted to you, right? What is the placement percentage? I genuinely have no idea, Rajkumar, but I'm telling you, right, if all of you, or all 330, 450 of you follow what we have been talking about for the like last 1 hour, all of you are going to get placed. Okay, so na companies ki kami hai, na jobs ki kami hai. Kami kis cheez ki hai? People drop in between. Most of you will do it, right? You will I've given a lot of lecture today, but even then some of you will drop midway the lecture. Some of you will drop if you are not able to understand one concept. I advise you strictly against it. Do not drop anything. None of these concepts are related to module 1. None of the concepts in module 2 are related to each other. Everything is mutually exclusive. So if you are not able to understand one class, make sure you join the other class also. And these small things that I am saying, when you combine these small things together, they actually give a very big result, right? So ये आपको लग रहा होगा कि बस इतना करने से अगर प्लेसमेंट हो जाता तो सबका हो जाता, सबका हो जाएगा अगर सब लोग ये कर लेंगे तो। सब लोग ये नहीं करते हैं, है ना? क्योंकि स्टेप्स बहुत छोटे से हैं. आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू टू रन 10 किलोमीटर इन वन डे, ठीक है? आई एम आस्किंग यू टू रन 1 किलोमीटर ओनली, बट डू इट एवरी डे टिल द टाइम यू गेट पेस्ड. ओके, एंड दैट्स द डिफिकल्ट पार्ट. अगर तुम मुझे बोलो, आज बोल दो कि 10 किलोमीटर दौड़ना है, कल प्लेसमेंट हो जाएगा, आई विल डू इट. बट इफ आई आस्क यू, तब तक 1 किलोमीटर दौड़ो रोज जब तक प्लेसमेंट नहीं हो रहा, यू विल सी द ड्रॉप. 400 लोग अगर 10 किलोमीटर दौड़ने को तैयार हो जाएंगे, भले ही दौड़े या ना दौड़ पाए, 400 का सीधा 200 हो जाएगा अगर अपन कंसिस्टेंसी मांगते हैं तो. सो दैट इज द की, राइट? So I'm not asking you to do something big. No one is asking you to do that. That's not required. But consistency, the main ingredient of placement preparation, a lot of us miss that. That's why we have, placement percentage. I don't know the placement percentage officially, but it's definitely not 100%, right? Because of these reasons. If all 100% of you do what I just asked you to do, all of you will get placed. That will make the placement percentage 100%, right? Academy will be happy, you will be happy, है ना? So how much time we need to become well versed in coding for good placement? So first, this is completely dependent on you. It's not that 4 months should be enough, right? The structure that we have planned, 4 months is more than enough. But still, for some it might take 2 months, for some it might take 6 months. Is the one who took 6 months a fool? No, he is not. Because even after not getting in the first 4 months, he tried for the next 2 months also, right? So it's only the initial struggle, initial things that you will have to overcome. Kyunki some of you are from the commerce background also, arts background also. So it's natural for me to understand the code, right? मैं कुछ चीजें बोल दूंगा जो मेरे लिए obvious होंगी, आपको हो सकता है समझ में ना आए, right? You will not be able to understand even a part of it. So raise your voice for it. If you have a doubt, just ask me about it. Okay, I will take as many doubts as practically possible. Like today I have 152 chat messages, right? So I think you can understand this when I say in the lecture, when I will be teaching, I will not be able to take 150 questions, because if I do that, we are only like, we will only keep studying OOP for the whole of module 2. So that's a constraint that we also have to follow. But having said that, I'm not saying that I will completely ignore the portion where I asked you guys to ask your doubts from me. Okay. Having said that, what was the question? Yeah. How much time does it take? So it's completely dependent on you. But on an average, 4 months is more than enough, should be more than enough. Okay, that's my thing. What can we do if we get nervous during test? Actually, again, Meet, so I actually have no answer for it. It's only that, when we give more tests, it will go away. Okay, the nervousness level will decrease. But one thing that I can tell you is, Meet, so be it your mock test or your actual company test, the thing is, it's a practical thing. Okay, डर के हो क्या जाएगा, right? What good will you get if you get nervous? So hard truth is, we are prepared to the level that we are prepared to. जितना अपना preparation है उतना है, right? So we can't change it with by getting nervous. हल्की सी nervousness is natural, but don't let it overcome you. मतलब आपको अगर recursion आता था और nervousness की वजह से आप question solve नहीं कर पाए, then we are at a loss. उतना nervous भी नहीं होना है, but it's very natural to get nervous. Okay, मतलब उसमें we can't do anything. It's just that ये याद रखो, अपने दिमाग से सोचो उसमें कि there is no value addition if you are getting nervous. There is no advantage of getting nervous, right? So just think about it. Baki, it's fine only. How much time should we spend in a day for problem solving? This is also a good question. Don't focus on the time. What I will suggest you is take a target of solving, apart from the lecture, at least solving 3 to 4 problems daily. Okay, that's a very practical number. It's a very low number. Okay, I mean, it's not very low and it's not very high also. It's perfectly achievable, है ना? इससे ज़्यादा कर ले हो तो very good, but इससे कम, just try that you don't go below this. Okay, so for you, for practical purposes, as long as we are in module 2, all you need to keep doing is when you are studying OOP, focus on OOP and maybe solve some problems from your module 1. But when we start talking about the DSA concepts, I only will give you enough problems to engage you in a day. If you are able to do that, you should be good to go. As far as giving the time is considered, so you can say on an average for an easy question, spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes of thought is more than enough. If you are not getting the question after that, then there is no need to waste more time there. Similarly, for a medium question, this time becomes roughly 15-20 minutes, right? For a hard question, it becomes 20 minutes minimum. So just try to give thoughts, because what will happen when you give thought is, a lot of you would be tempted to see the solution before even trying to think the question yourself. It happens with a lot of us. But अपने को लगता है ठीक है, अपने को solution पता चल गया, now we are good to go, right? But that's not it. When we think about the solution, even if we are not able to reach the final answer, final solution, final code, it builds that, so as this person was asking, right, Giriraj, I think. So what the good thing about spending time on questions is, you are actually preparing for your coding tests, right? In a way, because you are spending 20 minutes on a particular tough question. So what you will get is, you might not be able to get to the main logic, but आपको ये समझ में आ जाएगा कि what are the things that are required to solve this question. What do I mean to say? For example, if you need to use a stack, to solve a particular question, at least you will be able to figure that out. You will make a stack, and when you actually make a stack, your mind will actually start working in the direction of solving the question. If you are not able to solve the question, even if you are not able to solve the question, at least what you have achieved that day is, this same thing is going to happen to you in the coding test also. So you are now prepared for that in a way, right? End mein, when you watch the solution, you will anyways be able to solve it, understand the code, and obviously keep it there for future. But when you spend time on question, time on thinking about the solution, this is the skill that gets built. So जो nervousness आती है when you see the questions for the first time in interview or coding test, that nervousness will automatically drop. Okay, so that's about the time that you should give each question based on its difficulty. उससे ज़्यादा time नहीं देना है if you are not getting anywhere. अगर आपको, if you will feel that you are getting near the solution, so you will anyways give more time, right? अगर आपको लग रहा है 20 मिनट में I am somewhere, if I spend more 10 minutes, I will be able to reach the whole solution. So obviously you will spend those 10 minutes, है ना? All those things are like from common sense. Okay, so रिसेशन चल रहा है. अरे इतना रिसेशन नहीं चल रहा होता कि अपने को लोग 10-15 लाख ना दे पाए, ठीक है? रिसेशन होता है मतलब these problems that we have, अपने को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा उससे। कभी कभी किसी को फायर करना भी होगा तो वो 5 करोड़ दे रहे होंगे जो उसको करेंगे कि अपन को करेंगे। वही रिसेशन पे ना मेरे को पता है ना मैं सोचता हूँ, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है ना। हाउ मच टाइम डू वी नीड टू बिकम वेल वर्स्ड इन कोडिंग? आई थिंक आई आंसर्ड दिस। Actually, Ayush, both the technologies are very, I mean, hot right now, and there are like Golang is also developing, right? So just do not worry. If you take any particular technology and work on it, you will be able to figure that out. Like a lot of my friends work in obviously wide variety of companies, right? Startups, MNCs, startups that have become MNCs now, all spectrum of companies. All of the companies use both Node.js and Spring Boot. So that's to answer your question, right? So if you, let's say, hypothetically speaking, if you know Node.js, right, you will be sent to a team that is working on Node.js. If you know Spring Boot, you will be sent to a team that knows like works on Spring Boot. That can happen, but that's not a blocker. Like, do not worry about it, right? So how to manage English part? So that will come naturally. And Shubham, putting your thoughts clearly is more important than to speak in English or in Hindi, right? So I also, for example, now I'm speaking in English. That's only because I am to address you guys, right? So when I was doing the same thing 1 year ago, I fumbled a lot, right? I was probably not this fluent, but I think now I'm more fluent. So all of this is a part of practice. But what is more important is if you're not comfortable in English, let's say, you can switch to Hindi also, right? What's important is you need to convey your thought properly. And even if you use broken English, so I know a lot of seniors in my company only who are not that good with English, right? Who use incorrect grammar or anything. But does that matter? No. I respect them because of their technical skills, na? Because of the person they are. So just attempt it, okay? And again, efforts are taken into account in interviews and all. As long as you're able to convey your thought, it's not going to be a problem, right? So don't worry about it, Shubham. Just try to practice it. When you're talking to your friends, try to speak in English. Talk to friends who are preparing for interviews, right? Because otherwise, if you go to your friends and start speaking in English, you only know what will happen, right? अपन लोग ऐसे randomly English में बात करेंगे दोस्तों से तो फिर गाली खाएंगे. But talk to people who are actually, working towards the same goal. They will understand why you are speaking in English. They will also try to get back to you in English only. So that's one way. You can also start chatting in English, right? For example, sometimes we think of a word while replying to a conversation. So what I do is I do it even today. जैसे मेरे को कोई word पे doubt हो रहा होता है कि इसका meaning क्या है, Google it, right? So these little things you can keep doing for improving English, right? Anything for reasoning, नहीं. These things I told you, right? कुछ भी, anything. This is what AccuJob is giving you. No need to go here and there. No need. Aptitude, ये English, ये वो, इतना दिमाग सबका चलता है कि जिसने भाई जो इंग्लिश का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेगा वो ये नहीं बता पाएगा कि यहाँ पे 2, 3, 5 अगला नंबर क्या होगा, तब हो ही जाएगा ना. So aptitude, reasoning, English, ये मराठी, nothing. No need to work on anything else, right? Going directly module 5 from module 1. What about their DSA? यार ये मेरे को नहीं पता, but if they are not studying DSA, they are directly going to front end, they will get front end jobs. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, है ना? Some people are going module 5. ये मेरे को पता नहीं actually, Mehran. That's why I'm not able to answer it. एक second ना. Striver is also a good YouTuber. Others likes Striver a lot. So some people are going. ये नहीं पता है मेरे को. एक सेकंड ना भाई, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हो गए, मैं नीचे से ऊपर जाता हूँ. How do we know solution we think of is the best practice, like the one with minimum complexity? So the answer for that is, I told you, right? You will never know, and mostly the first solution that you will come to on your own is going to be a very basic one, and very bad in time complexity. That's why just go to the discussion section, right? There you can get to know the best optimal approach, है ना? Will we get mail regarding some form of information, like some form of notification, either on Discord or on emails? But the point is, you will get properly notified. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वो होके निकल गया और आपको पता नहीं चला. So don't worry about it, right? Front end is going to be taught after DSA, right? Can you please help us with some advanced string questions? No, I won't help you with advanced string questions because that's not relevant. I will give you some links. Okay, I will work on it if I get something. Some of you also wanted recursion questions also, so I will work on it, Akash. But string, okay, string I will tell you. But the thing is, string in itself is not a is not a concept or anything, right? All you need to know about string is it's an array of characters. For like just for a one liner, there's no special question that you need to solve for strings, right? So whatever questions are there on string, they are actually questions of array only, right, Akash? So I would say that do not get worried about it. However, yeah, I will see if I get some time. I will look for some questions of strings, right? Just so if that is the case, Akash and Akanksha, if that is the case, you can go to LeetCode even today, search for string questions LeetCode, Google it. The first link you get, just go to that, sort it with the difficulty level, solve the first 10 questions. Okay, understand the concept there and be done with it. ज़्यादा उसमें वो नहीं करना है. Are you happy with your work life, or can we have any pressure to complete the code or project? Simply, how are you balancing your work life and managing your time? So, fortunately, in my company, work-life balance is one of the, you can say, selling points. It's actually very good, है ना? But even if I talk about, let's say, people who are working in startups, in other big companies where there is a pressure of deadline, in general, okay, I'm not talking about some particular companies. In general, the flow is, most of the times you will have standard work, right? Not much pressure, nothing will be there, but there will come a spike. There will come a series of 2-3 weeks where you will have to put in extra hours to compensate for the releases that are planned, for the other things that are there. So that's roughly the structure for everyone, right? It's not that you are going to have any work-life imbalance at this stage. Okay, if you have that, it's time to look for a change. But at this stage, I think all based on my friends' experiences, this is it, right? Most of the time they are working 3 to 5 hours a day, right? Normally nothing, not much pressure, but there will come a time when some release is planned or some high priority activities there. At that time you will have to be more attentive, and you will have to give more input in terms of time, है ना? So for me, luckily, that's not an issue, है ना? And as far as managing time goes, I'm actually pretty bad at it. How am I able to manage AccioJob? That's because of my genuine interest in teaching. That's the only thing, right? अगर कुछ भी और काम होता, अगर आप मुझे शाम को डेवलपमेंट करवा रहे होते जॉब के बाद, मैं नहीं कर पाता, right? So that's the thing. Can we get work from home? So Gaurang, actually, most of the companies are working on a hybrid model. My company also. So I am supposed to go 2-3 days to office, and the rest of the days work from home. So that's how it is working for me. For others, it's also similar. Like my friend, what he is doing is he goes to office for 2 weeks, doesn't go for the next 2 weeks. Then alternately in the set of 2 weeks, it keeps on happening. So that's how it is, right? What should I choose between front end or DSA based on career opportunities? You don't have to choose, because all these are components only, and DSA is definitely more important for entry level jobs, but like do both, right? But if you're talking as of now, what you need to do, focus on DSA. Difference between MERN stack and full stack. So basically, MERN stack, for an example, so these are the tech stacks, right? MongoDB, Express, React, Node.js, right? MERN. So what it means is the database that you're using, the backend technology, the front-end technology that you're using, the framework that you're using for website building, all that stuff, right? So MERN stack, Jay, is one of the ways of handling full stack, right? So MERN is having, M is database, MongoDB, Express is the framework, right, inside Node.js that you work on for developing the backend of your applications. React is again for your front end, right? So it's actually one of the way of handling full stack. The other way is MEAN stack, MEAN, replace React with Angular, right? 8 modules will be covered in 6 months, roughly 8 months only, right? Content wise it is 6 months. अगर आपको एक बार में करवा देते तो it's 6 months content, but because of the hiatus and breaks that we are giving in between, roughly you keep getting 1 week of break, right? 8 modules, 7 breaks for 1 week, it's roughly 2 months there, right? 1.5 2 months there. So yeah, 8 modules in 8 months, but content is for 6 months only. When our opening is going to start, don't worry about it. Usme time hai abhi. It will start after module 3, module 4, right? Break. So it is scheduled between like before we begin a particular module, the next module. Okay. So yeah, in my company, I actually tried it for a few of my friends. So the problem, not the problem, the preference there is they hire directly from the college. Okay, so mine is not a very big company in terms of the number of people that it hires. अब उनका कॉलेज से उन्हें रिक्रूट कर लिया ना एक बार, so they won't hire freshers anymore. Whom will they hire? They will basically hire 3 years experience, 5-year experience people. So that's the, you can say, way my company's hiring works, right? So that's the thing here. I actually talked for one of my students, so that's the answer that I got from the HR. है ना? राहुल, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
सर मुझे ये जानना था किस लेवल की डीएसए चाहिए रहती है, जैसे कैटेगराइज करें अपन पैकेज के बाद उससे 6, 8, 12, तो इन सब में किस किस लेवल की डीएसए चाहिए रहती है?
Like from 6 to 10, if we say, till module 3 should be enough. From 6 to 10, whatever you get till module 3, if you are having proper grip on it, that should be enough. Because what matters is, it's not that someone is asking you a difficult question from graphs and you are able to answer it. That's definitely good, right? Usme your package will definitely increase. But the problem comes when someone asks you a question on arrays and you're not able to solve it, right? That's where the problem comes. So from a practical perspective, right, if we are at least, just to be sure, at this point we want our first job, right? We are not much concerned about the CTC or anything. So for the bracket of 7 to 10 lakhs, 11 lakhs, till module 3, whatever DSA we are having, that should be crystal clear to all of you. And after that, the content from module 4 is going to act as an enhancement. If a company comes and is offering you somewhere between 12 to 15 lakhs, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And then they will want to get from you how much DSA you know. So their intention is to understand whether this guy or girl will be able to pick up what I throw at him, right? अभी मेरे को spring नहीं पता था before I joined the company, right? I had only worked on Java, right? Basic DSA and all that stuff. So they taught me Spring when I joined the company, right? So that's the thing. If you are clear with your basics, आपको जो पढ़ाया गया है वो आपको आता है. What does that reflect about you? Well, like what personality trait it's telling about you? You are a good learner. If you are a good learner, does not matter whether you have learned Java, DSA, OOP or whatever. If you have learned that, you will learn this also. So coming back to your question, so now when they are coming and judging you for DSA, if you are having a grip on graphs and other you can say high level DSA concepts, and if you have a good project, you are able to explain it, you are confidently dealing with the questions, so definitely that will keep incrementing in your CTC, or you can say in your salary only. But from a practical perspective, if we talk about the bare minimum, right, module 1 and module 2 तो आप मान लो ये नहीं है तो फिर आप लक पे खेल रहे हो बिल्कुल. It's a gamble if you are unclear with module 1 and module 2. But module 1, 2, 3, if you know these 3 modules properly, it is a very good I mean, you can say stage that you have reached. And now use module 4 as an enhancement, to further increase the possibility of getting a good job. Project, don't worry about it. Project, we have basic DSC projects also. We have a major project, as we call it, that connects to database, runs query on it, all that stuff. But I'm not going to go into depth of it because that's really not required here. Because module 3 we have dedicated classes on project building. Okay, So if you guys don't know, we have dedicated classes for that. So just forget that projects even exist at this point. Okay, don't worry about that. Did you still learn new concept for to be in the company? I mean, general SD have to study whole life. So Shubhankar, it's not that I keep taking courses or anything, but we learn on the job, right? For example, if I know basic Node, just an example, and now I'm given a service that is written in Node, so my job is to figure out the different linking that it has. If I'm hitting a particular link, what are the subsequent links that it is calling, right? What are the subsequent, if you are familiar with the word API, what are the subsequent API calls that it is making? है ना? API को आप replace कर दो function से. We know functions, right? So if you are studying a function, what is expected from you is कि वो function किस function को और call कर रहा है. So that logic flow we need to understand, right? And as we go about doing it, as we keep on doing that, अपने आप ही मतलब काम करते करते अपन सीख जाते हैं, right? So that's how it is. And for me personally, if I tell you, I mean, it has not been very impressive. I mean, I am to blame for that, not the company, not the opportunities or anything. But after getting the job, I just kind of relaxed. Jitna kaam aaya kar liya, वैसा. So that's just my personal experience for 1 year. That's also fine. I mean, if you have that outlook, job मिली है तो enjoy करना है ना? पहली बार पैसा मिल रहा है, उड़ाएंगे, है ना? But for your question, coming back to your question, so it's not that you will be forced to learn anything unless your tech stack is changing entirely, है ना? But naturally it will come to you, है ना? उसके बाद आपको extra learn करना है, extra opportunities चाहिए. So I think every IT company these days is open. आप कुछ extra काम मांगोगे, so they will put you on a different new initiative. They will give you some time to prepare. So at least my company is very open about it, right? So, and that's the general trend also. So it's not that you will have to study entire life, but you will have to have a learning mindset, right? क्योंकि changes तो होते रहेंगे हमेशा टेक्नोलॉजी में, right? So आपको ये कभी नहीं होगा कि आज मैंने पूरा सीख लिया है, अब कल से बस मैं, समझ रहे हो आप, कुछ नया नहीं सीखना. आप मैनेजर भी बन जाओगे तो आपको नए टेक स्टैक के बारे में जानना तो पड़ेगा ही ना, बिकॉज you now have to compare between the different stacks and see which one is more practical for your usage. आपकी टीम से क्या काम करवाना है, किस में करवाना है, right? So all that stuff is there. PHP is actually, you can say, ancient technology. It's very old. So if you are asking me to choose between one, Java is a definite choice. Can you name some of the companies that come to hire from AccuJob and offer package of 15? यार मेरे को पता नहीं यार, मेरे को तो 15 से कम वालों का भी नाम नहीं पता है. So that is something I can ask Lakshay to take a session on, because it's something that motivates us, right? पैसा है तो that's what we are doing it for, है ना? So I will ask Lakshay to keep a session for that. एक सेकंड ना, focus on DSA right now. हाँ, बहुत तुम लोग क्वेश्चन पूछने बोल रहे, तुम तो कुछ भी पूछ रहे हो. 5 LPA जॉब के लिए किस मॉड्यूल तक DSA आना चाहिए? 5 LPA जॉब के लिए ये क्वेश्चन नहीं करना अपने को. हम एक्टिव जॉब में इतने घंटे बर्बाद इसलिए नहीं कर रहे कि 5 LPA की जॉब मिले, ठीक है? फिर भी टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, 5 LPA जॉब के लिए फ्रॉम नथिंग टिल मॉड्यूल 2, ओके? बट no, don't have that mindset, okay? Aim for as high as possible, and as high as possible in AccuJob is 13, 14, 15. Okay, we have those cases also. So मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि आपको 8 LPA की जॉब मिल गई तो आप बुरे हो गए, और जिसको 16 की मिल गई, चलो वो तो अच्छा हो गया, पर 8 की मिल गई तो अपन बुरे नहीं हुए, right? One of my best students, I think he is currently working, I don't remember, his package is somewhere below 10, but I can write it, give it in writing that he's even more technically sound than me, because he has that aptitude. उसको naturally मन करता है कि वो कोड करे, वो सीखे, right? So he started at a salary below 10 LPA, but now he is applying for other jobs and other stuff, right? So my point is, aim for as high as possible, but ये नहीं कि आपको किसी की 10 की लग गई, अपन की 8 की लगी तो अपने को रोना धोना है. नो, 8 LPA if you translate it to per month income, क्या हो गया? 50-60 हजार हो गया. अभी I am living in Pune and my monthly expense, I am not including कि मैं बहुत ही एकदम मतलब लग्जरियस लाइफ जीऊं या कुछ करूं, बट ऑन एन एवरेज आपका 30-40,000 से ज्यादा खर्चा नहीं जाएगा, चाहे कुछ कर लो। तुम मुझे बोलो कि कोशिश करके उड़ाओ आज, तो भी मतलब समझ रहे हो ना मेरी बात? 30-40,000 इज अ लॉट। अपने बीवी बच्चे तो है नहीं कि मतलब बच्चों को स्कूल भेजना है, राइट? सो 8 LPA जॉब इज अ लॉट, बट डू नॉट आस्क क्वेश्चंस लाइक 5 LPA के लिए क्या इनफ है। 5 LPA के लिए वी आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग, ओके? बट हैविंग सेड दैट, मैं ये भी नहीं कह रहा कि आपको अगर 7 का मिल गया है, 8 का मिल गया तो आप निराश हो जाओ। दिस इज एन एंट्री दैट वी आर मेकिंग, ACK जॉब हैज हेल्प्ड अस फॉर इट। उसके बाद एंडलेस अपॉर्चुनिटीज है ना? ठीक है, बट एनीवेज फोकस ऑन मतलब फोकस ऑन ऑल द मॉड्यूल्स, डोंट लुक फॉर एन एस्केप रूट। आप लोग आए हो, आप लोग इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो, अभी पूरे 3 घंटे बैठोगे रोज 4 महीने के लिए, तो एक्सपेक्ट मोर, है ना? हैव हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस। इसलिए तो अपन लोग कॉलेज वाले छोड़ के ACK जॉब में आए हैं, राइट? आई मीन कॉलेज छोड़ के नहीं, बट यू गेट द पॉइंट, राइट? If I do till module 8, so I, as a MERN stack developer, how Hitesh, the answer is unlimited, okay? Maybe not from ACK job, right? But if you talk about the market, if you're genuinely having a grip on it, there is no high limit, okay? There is no upper limit on the package that you can get, है ना? 20 LP के लिए कितना DSA चाहिए? So तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि मतलब भाव तोल नहीं करते अपन सब्जी मंडी में जाके। एनीवेज, सो 20 LP के लिए syllabus wise till module 4 only, people who have 15-20 LP jobs, people who have 1 crore की job, they all of them know same DSA only, but obviously at different levels, at different proficiency. If I am 3 out of 5, maybe the the counterpart is 4 out of 5, someone is 5 out of 5, but topics हमें सबको same ही पता है, right? So that's the kind of thing. Module 4 is the like till module 4 is the only syllabus that is there in DSA. उससे ज़्यादा DSA है ही नहीं, right? Obviously there are certain little minute concepts that you can keep on studying separately, but till module 4, 20 LPA, 30 LPA, 40 LPA, 50 LPA, anything, है ना? Do we have to learn Linux also? No. So if someone goes from module 1 to 5 directly, DSA will be asked in the interview. अरे CTC के बारे में मत चिंता करो रे, don't worry about the CTC. अरे यार, what is it that I said in Hindi? अच्छा, okay, I think that was not very important, right? So mine is in Yerwada. I live in Mundwa, if you know Pune. Okay, you are married. So prepare for a better job, right? 5 LPA is not going to cut it for you. Aim for 10, 12 and as high as possible, right? After working for any company from ACK job campus and later wants to increment to CTC can be, हाँ, ACK job का तो पूरी लाइफ है ना आपकी, मतलब ACK थोड़ी ना बोलेगा कि अब इसी में रहो, right? If you are getting a better opportunity, yeah, definitely you can go for it, right? Some people like me don't know Hindi. Please explain once in English. Yeah, I think majority I discussed in English only. But if there is something that I discussed, let's say in Hindi, that was probably not very much. If you miss that part, it's not very relevant. Okay, you might not have missed anything. Ek second. Now we are actually towards the end. Let me just see if I actually missed anything or covered everything. Intro to module 2, I gave you module 2 overview. Do not leave classes in between, okay? Do not drop out of the running class. Do not drop out of classes in continuation. Every topic is mutually exclusive, you know, and keep following all the lectures. Even if you are not, worst case, even if you are not able to understand, let's say what was taught in the previous class. Okay, that's a personal note. ये करना ही है, ये सारी चीजें फॉलो करोगे तो हो जाओगे यार प्लीज। कुछ ये प्रोजेक्ट और CTC, all that stuff is not for you to worry. It's like our responsibility as ACK job, the platform. It's our responsibility to bring companies for you, है ना? अपन ने ले आई 50 लाख की, we brought a company that is ready to give a 50 lakh CTC, right? Then it's on you how well you know DSA, right? How well you know the stuff that we have taught, right? So just do not worry about anything else. Keep coming to lectures, keep solving questions, more than enough, okay? And practice on portal 50% at least you will have to do. Timing for lectures is 8 to 9 p.m. You will have your homework classes, and 9 to 11 you will have your normal. I will be coming to take your lecture classes. Tomorrow we will be starting with object oriented programming, right? So tomorrow will be our first formal lecture to start our journey on module 2. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to study OOP. Okay, and timing 9 to 11 p.m. Utilize your weekends properly. 12th September is the deadline for your mocks. Before that you are supposed to give your mock tests. Okay, and you are supposed to get at least 60% marks, or let's say 6 out of 10 in the interview also, to be continuing with module 2. Okay, 50% assignment, 75% attendance. Let me also check. Lakshay also sent me a checklist. Just quickly like go through it to see if I have missed anything or I have covered everything. Right? Bhavya Pandey is your instructor. I think now you know it. Yes. Yeah, everything that we discussed is also formally documented by Lakshay in a PDF document also. He will be sharing that with you. Do read it. It contains the overview of the module 2. It also contains that you are supposed to give your mocks, complete 50% assignments, all the stuff that we talked about in the lecture. Okay, and I think with this, I can give you a break because we sat for this, for 2 hours. So you are allowed to leave now. Okay. Arey Apple ka nahi bhai. I am an Android person. Okay. So cool then. It was really nice meeting you all. And Sumit, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I will accept it. Don't worry. Sorting will not be repeated. We will be starting with new concepts only, right? Ruby more widely used than Java. So there are companies that use Ruby, but I think Java is more common. Yeah, Sumit, yeah, go ahead.
सर मुझे जानना था, जैसे कोई कंपनी आती है तो उसका सीटीसी पहले से बता दिया जाता है हम लोग को कि इतने सीटीसी?
हाँ, आई थिंक मैं एक बार लक्ष्य से पूछूंगा, बट आई थिंक एवरीथिंग इज गिवन टू यू इन एडवांस ओनली.
उससे दूसरी बात ये, आप भोपाल आए तो मीटअप करेंगे क्या? मैं भी भोपाल से हूँ.
अरे बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. वेयर इन भोपाल?